What's up and welcome to a new video. I hope you guys are ready for a deep dive into a rabbit hole of what is the shopping app Temu. It gets pretty dark. I have some personal tea to spill on them because they have reached out to me many times for a sponsorship, which I have officially declined more than once now. It's that time of year. I'm feeling very festive. A lot of people are doing shopping, a lot of online shopping, and looking for a lot of deals. I get it, you know? Things are expensive, and when you see something marketed to you for like $1 that should be $50, it's, you know, tempting. I get it. And I also don't want to come off too judgmental on, you know, influencers or people who do accept these sponsorships, because I'm going to mention a few of them. You know, not everybody does their research or due diligence. I'm sure I've made many mistakes in the past. And when times are rough and a chunk of cash is thrown at you, it's very hard sometimes to just not take that. Also, disclaimer, I don't want to come off as judgmental to people who use the shopping app Temu, because my assumption is that you are very similar to me in that you had literally no idea how dark this actually can get. With all of that said, I do want to provide the information that I have, all the facts that I have gathered, and I spent a long time researching this video before sitting down to do this. I honestly wasn't even sure if I was going to do it, but here we are. And with this new information, you guys can move forward. Whether you are a consumer, an influencer, whoever you are, you can move forward and make your decisions based off of the potentially new information that I'm going to give you here. Lawmakers are currently flagging what they say are likely significant violations of US law by Temu. Temu failed to maintain even the facade of a meaningful compliance program for its supply chains and was likely shipping products made with forced labor into the United States. Representative Mike Gallagher said Temu is doing next to nothing to keep its supply chains free from slave labor. They've even failed to set up a compliance or auditing system that could independently verify that its sellers were not sourcing from Xinjiang, which there is currently a genocide going on there. Now, when I say they've reached out to me multiple times for sponsorship, I'm really not kidding. Here is a list of emails that goes all the way back to January, actually, but I couldn't fit it all on screen. But even just in the month of November alone, they reached out to me 4 times. With some of the last ones almost being irritated, like, I have emailed you many times to ask if you want. And I'm like, I am saying no many times. Some of these emails are really funny. I'm gonna, at the end of the video, read you a few more of them, but I really want to get into the meat of what's going on here, which is not funny emails. This whole situation is just not very funny, unfortunately. There are a couple of good YouTube videos out there exposing Temu for all the stuff that they've done wrong. I'm going to reference a few of those and leave links in the description below if you're interested in watching their full videos. This is one of them, Temu, the scummiest company in the world.
Temu is sweeping the world right now with their insanely low prices, generous reward schemes, and flashy advertising.
Temu has absolutely exploded onto the scene, advertising simply unbeatable prices.
This new website, Temu, I can't tell you how many people I've seen raving about the cheap tech you can get on this site. It's cheaper than Amazon, it's cheaper than Wish.
So what gets me about this is obviously these prices are super cheap. You have to wonder, how do they do it? How can they afford to do that? Are they actually giving you what they advertise, or is it a bunch of cheap crap? I'm gonna answer a lot of those questions, but this video goes on to show a bunch of influencers who have participated in Temu sponsorships. Again, I'm not saying attack any of these people, but it does seem like it is just exploding on YouTube right now, and every other person I see is promoting this without looking into it at all. The first place I think a lot of people heard about this was the Super Bowl. They had a commercial that just really made it blow up in popularity. I didn't really understand it until recently, until I got a very aggressive sponsorship deal that I had to really think about, why do they keep messaging me? And then I went down this rabbit hole and here we are. Not quite the video they were hoping I would make, I don't think.
Download the Temu app and shop like a billionaire.
So yeah, their tagline at the end of this commercial is shop like a billionaire, and apparently use the ethics of a billionaire while doing so.
The celebrity and influencer endorsements, Jason Derulo and Juju Smith-Schuster, fresh off his Super Bowl victory, were among them. Temu doesn't just rely on big names either. There are countless examples of small to medium influencers showing off their Temu hauls, sent to them by the company for free. With these cherry-picked products, Temu can convince people they're selling high-quality, trustworthy merchandise, blurring the line between paid product placement and reviews, muddying the water even more. It's an aggressive marketing strategy.
Yeah, this is interesting to me because I did not get offered cherry-picked products. I did get offered $150 to spend on whatever I wanted. So I will say that, and I'm going to be very transparent. They offered me that, $150 to buy whatever I wanted. They wanted me to talk about it in a video for 1 minute, and they were going to give me $3,500. Man, that sounds nice, doesn't it? For 1 minute of my time. I see why people take it. I see why people take it. I'm not trying to be judgmental or make myself come off as holier than thou. Like I said, I'm sure I don't have a perfect past. Everybody does things. You know, we all had turkey on Thanksgiving. A lot of us, every vegan and vegetarian out there would have something to say about the ethics of that, and they wouldn't be wrong. Annoying maybe to a lot of people, but you know, it is what it is, and you can't argue with the ethics of the way certain things do go down. And this is just one of them. I'm just pointing it out because I now have, I feel like, personal involvement with the company because they have spammed me so many times. And it was something that I considered, actually. I considered doing this before actually looking into it because I didn't know. I didn't know how messed up they were, all the really horrific things that they have done and continue to do. And I don't want to put that like expectation on everybody to do the dive into it that I've done. Like I said, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
Creating a pyramid scheme style of marketing on top of this. Getting your friends to sign up and making posts about the app will get you free credits. You can then use these to order even more budget products, turning a few likes into a new dress or a cheap power drill. The final part of the strategy is gamifying the act of shopping. Through the Temu app, you can play little mobile games. Cool things like coin spin and card flip to win free items.
So this is crazy. They're tapping into like the dopamine, serotonin that you get from playing phone games. And sometimes you don't even have to put in your credit card information because you can get so many points by playing these stupid games that are addicting. You can get things by scrolling through products, and I guess they're banking on you seeing something you want and then buying that product. Also, all the perks they offer to people that aren't even like, you know, successful social media influencers, like literally anybody who can promote it to enough of their friends can get money and spend it on this crap, this plastic crap most of the time that you don't need. So it can become very addicting. I see videos like this pop up, you know, how to get free stuff on Temu, and the comments are just, they're almost like heartbreaking. This only works if you have hundreds of friends and they accept the invite. I played for 3 hours, sending invites, playing games, etc. And because I was $1 short, my free stuff was no longer free. I can't stop ordering myself either. I even got my hubby onto it. Haha. I've referred everyone I can through that has a smartphone. I have people that are stubborn and won't use their phones for things like this though, so I wish they would let people use their computers to do so as well. Jesus, I'm so addicted. So far, even with clothes, I'm 100% amazed. Some of the jewelry leaves your fingers green. Okay, what do you expect from a 70-cent ring? You know, somebody had to make that ring. I just put clear nail polish on it, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is just, it eats at me. It gets under my skin, this type of thing. Like, people are admitting that it's addictive. They're still referring all their friends. It's not even working out for them. I don't know. It just bothers me. It just bothers me. At some point, you got to start asking questions, right? There is video after video on YouTube talking about all the crap that you get, how much it's a scam. A lot of knockoff products, guys. Sure, some things might come through decent, but a lot of this is plastic, very breakable things coming from China that will end up in a landfill in a matter of months. But how do they do it? How do they sell this stuff so cheap, right? Well, apparently they lose about $30 per order. They do this on purpose, and Amazon had a similar tactic when they were starting out, that they take a loss, right? Because they're trying to invade a space, digging their claws into the US market and doing so at a loss. Now, how do they have the money to pay for that loss? Well, Temu is actually coming off of a parent company called Pinduoduo. Temu is an offshoot of Chinese e-commerce giant Pinduoduo. They are also developing, similar to Pinduoduo, a reputation of undelivered packages, mysterious charges, incorrect orders, and unresponsive customer service. Now, the mysterious charges are people getting their credit card and bank account hacked after they sign up with this app and use it for something to make a purchase. I'm going to get into those stories as well in this video. This is a nightmare. The strategy makes sense once you realize that Temu is a sister company to Pinduoduo, which has offered similar deals in China for the last few years. Pinduoduo has found success in China selling heavily discounted products straight from manufacturers to low-income buyers, as well as agricultural products to farmers. The company now has a market cap of $102 billion, and that's where the money is coming from. That is how they are able to take a $30 loss, because they've been doing this shit in China for years now, and now it's $1 billion company. They're spending money to make money. Once they get their death grip on the market in the US, everything's gonna go to shit. Like, Amazon's gonna have to find a way to compete. All these different apps are gonna have to find a way to compete with that. And it's not gonna end well for us, guys. It's not. It could force our stores to reduce prices, which will hurt wages, putting more pressure on US manufacturers to reduce prices. Americans may be looking for bargains, but we could be hurting our own infrastructure by supporting this app. Is something to think about when you're tempted to buy substandard products from overseas. Another thing to think about is the environment. That pesky little environment, you know what I mean? You know those landfills I mentioned? Well, it's a problem. And it's hilarious to me because they have a sustainability thing on their website. As part of our ongoing commitment to environmental sustainability, Temu has partnered with Trees for the Future to plant trees across Africa. Y'all, that does not put a dent in the damage they are causing. And it's just funny that they're trying to like paint themselves as this like environmental hero. To me, like that is just really, it's just really amazing. I mean, like the hypocrisy is next level. They're using cheap labor, they're exploiting people, they're causing so much environmental damage, but they plant trees, y'all. They plant trees. Their employees are dying, but hey, they plant trees. Not to mention their products that are so cheaply made have high levels of toxic heavy metals and lead, so many harmful chemicals, and a lot of this has been found in toys that are marketed to kids. There's no concrete evidence of safety standards and testing for toys from illegitimate marketplace sellers. This toy, for example, was a counterfeit fidget toy knockoff marketed towards kids that are age 14 plus. This is not a toy for kids that are 14 plus. All the reviews are like, this is great for my toddler, and it is a knockoff of a toy that is made for toddlers. But they say it is likely that the 14 plus age recommendation for the fidget toy on Temu is one of the many ways these sellers get around toy safety standards in the US. It covers chemicals and heavy metals, mechanical and physical properties, electrical safety, small parts, choking hazards, and flammability for toys designed for kids under the age of 14. Well, if you market it to 14 plus, don't have to worry about that one now, do we? It literally says 2 plus, ages 2 plus on the box. Now let's go back to how sustainable they are, right? Well, it's not very sustainable, the amount of stuff that they're shipping, the amount of costs and environmental damage that happens as a result of this mass shipping, and it is in mass. Like between Temu and Shein, it's really bad, and they're actually taking advantage of something called the de minimis rule. Let me explain it. The de minimis rule is something that allows American tourists to take back items when you're traveling for free, right? You don't have to pay for those items when you enter back into the United States. It's duty free, but now it's being used by these companies to avoid billions of dollars in tariffs. And it's legal. They get away with it. Why? This exemption has been around for decades, and it comes from the Latin term as something like too small to even bother with, too small to deal with. In 2021, more than 60% of all de minimis shipments to the United States came from China. In light of each company's primary supplier network in China, this suggests that shipments from Temu and Shein alone may account for nearly half of all de minimis shipments from China. In 2022, 685 million shipments entered the United States under de minimis. This means that duty-free shipments from just 2 companies, Temu and Shein, are likely to amount more than 30% of all global de minimis shipments into the United States. That is insane. But guys, they're planting trees. They're planting trees. Now, the forced labor, this is where we get into the worst part of this deep dive. Temu acknowledged that it does not have a policy in place to prohibit the sale of goods from Xinjiang, the location of the CCP's ongoing genocide. They not only don't have a policy in place, they blatantly sell stuff from there anyway, and I will show you proof of that. This is particularly concerning in light of Temu's lack of UFLPA compliance mechanisms. In fact, after we launched our investigation, we found that Temu's marketplace featured the product, and this is the evidence I'm talking about, new handmade knitted cotton pendant with Xinjiang cotton. As discussed at the Select Committee's recent hearing, Xinjiang's cotton industry is intrinsically linked to forced labor, and import of such cotton into the US is functionally prohibited under US law. And like I said, Temu has no policy in place to prevent this, and they're blatantly doing it right in your face. Temu's sister company Pinduoduo has long been accused of hosting sales of counterfeits, illegal goods, or products that do not match their descriptions. At the bottom here it says, additionally, in 2021, the deaths of 2 Pinduoduo employees spurred investigations and boycotts over the company's working conditions, according to the New York Times. This is that New York Times article. Worker deaths put big tech in China under scrutiny. The deaths of 2 young employees of Pinduoduo, an e-commerce platform, have reignited long-standing concerns about working conditions at internet giants. It is believed that one death was directly related to the inhumane treatment of workers in the company, while the other death was from suicide. Temu guarantees the quality of its products, but that doesn't mean the products are created in ideal conditions, and this is really something I hope people take into consideration before they go shopping there. There can be as few as 8 bathroom stalls for a floor of 1,000 workers, and these workers have to work ridiculous hours. This practice requires employees to work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. After one of these really long shifts, a 22-year-old girl just suddenly unfortunately died. It was 1:30 a.m., just days before the new year, and the 22-year-old employee was leaving after a long day of work. Suddenly, she clutched her stomach and collapsed. Her coworkers rushed her to a hospital, but 6 hours later, she died. Less than 2 weeks later, a young Pinduoduo worker leaped to his death during a brief visit to his parents. The next day, a third employee said he had been fired for criticizing Pinduoduo's work culture. They fired him because they said he made, quote, extreme comments with obvious malice. Don't talk about it. You see bad things happening, keep your mouth shut. There was no public explanation of the cause of death, but many online linked it to overwork. Pinduoduo actually responded by saying, who hasn't exchanged their life for money? But of course, the post was quickly deleted. The company claimed screenshots were fake and then backtracked and blamed a contractor. Really, really dark, really disturbing stuff. They cannot even make a promise that it's not coming from a place, sourcing from a place where there is an ongoing genocide. And they say there's no evidence of forced labor. Are you kidding me? Whew. And now I want to take a step back and dive into the ethics of their cybersecurity, the way they're hacking into people's personal bank accounts, credit cards, and the data that they are stealing from you is unimaginably extensive and invasive, and it's just scary. You gotta think, guys, if these products are so cheap, maybe the reason is because you are the product. We are the ones signing up. Our information is getting bought. They are able to sell your information to make that money back. That's why it's so cheap. Yeah, slave labor, sure. Yes, it's getting funded from a parent company, but it's also coming from the value that you provide by giving them all of your information that they're hacking into gladly.
My bank account was probably just a few hours short of being completely drained. And let me tell you why. And it's about this place right here.
Temu is allegedly stealing customers' credit card information, or at least it is according to these people on TikTok.
It's been 1 week since I've ordered from Temu, and 48 hours ago I found out that my credit card information has been stolen.
So my bank details got sold to the black market by Temu.
And considering there are countless amounts of people making videos saying that their credit card info was stolen, many people are deleting their Temu accounts altogether and making sure to remove their credit card information before doing so. And people are doing this with basically every one of these stores like Shein.
Talk about a Shein scam that's going on right now.
As well as Wish.
Do not buy AirPods from Wish.com.
You need to delete Temu as soon as possible. And they're gathering so much information about you, they know your political affiliation. They of course already know your birthday because it's in the app. And you have your phone number, so if you ever wonder why you're getting so many spam phone calls, remember that. Even the US has accused Temu of having extreme data risk. Keep in mind, this app is also a subsidiary of Pinduoduo, which was found to have malware back in China. Only a matter of time till Temu has it.
Scary stuff. The malware in Pinduoduo was found to leverage specific vulnerabilities for Android phones, allowing the app to bypass user security permissions, access private messages, modify settings, view data from other apps, and prevent uninstallation. This has led Google to suspend them. It's bad. And now there's a class action lawsuit against Temu for this exact thing. Experts determined that Temu has gone to great lengths to conceal alleged privacy violations from its users so it can continue to steal their data. Allegedly, Temu was able to monitor the offsite activity of its customers by injecting JavaScript code spyware in websites that its users visit from the Temu website. Data collected in the process includes names, addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, biometric data, social security numbers, and credit card and financial information according to the class action. Biometric data, guys, that's your fingerprint. That's your face ID. A lot of these apps, when you go on, it asks for permission to use your camera and your microphone. Why does it need your microphone? What kind of audio is it? This is just, I'm not even going into conspiracy theories. This is all proven stuff. Another one of the videos that I told you that I really appreciated was this one. Temu is worse than I thought. A lot of really good information. I'll link it below.
Temu is probably one of YouTube's largest sponsors at this moment in time. And it's basically run by everybody. You'll find it from channels as large as Linus Tech Tips with "You wanted a Temu gaming setup," all the way down to things like, I guess, testing the most viral items on Temu, or I bought an entire gaming setup off Temu. Now, I'm not dogging on the creators for taking sponsorships from Temu. I get it. Inflation sucks.
Yeah, and that's kind of reiterating what I was trying to say. I'm not trying to come off judgmental, but I do want to provide the information. So in case someone like me, prior to going into this for the purposes of making this video, if you weren't unaware, I would like for you to become aware so that maybe that could potentially shift you away from involving yourself with them.
They'll buy a bunch of cheap crap for $100 and then make like a couple thousands off of the videos that they make.
It's funny because this guy's actually made multiple videos now on Temu, and they still reach out to him for sponsorship offers. So I thought maybe this would put a nail in the coffin of getting spam emails from them, but it seems unlikely.
You can offer us $1 million, okay? We will not take your sponsorship because my channel has a pretty strong emphasis on keeping your privacy, cybersecurity, and keeping yourself safe on the internet. I don't trust Temu whatsoever. I don't trust that they will keep you safe, and I actually personally believe that they are involved in some shady stuff, okay? That's just my personal belief.
It's my personal belief too, which is why I also will not accept a sponsorship. I mean, it's just insane. I cannot believe they offered me $3,500, like I said, and $150 to buy whatever I wanted on there. That's a pretty strong offer for 1 minute of me mentioning something in a video, you know, and I get it. Like, I get why people go for that and maybe don't even question it because they're just so stoked to be handed a chunk of cash like that. I mean, yeah, I could use it right now. I'm about to spend a lot of money on birth. That's, you know, our healthcare is sort of shitty. Woo, America. But like I said, I have no doubt that this chain of spam that I keep getting from these people will ever end. I actually never personally responded to them. I have a third party that intercepts my email, so I have like my email listed on every video that I post, but that doesn't go to me. That goes to somebody who goes through and picks out which sponsorships are good for me. And I still have access to that email, which is why I'm able to log in and look for all of these. But what actually ended up happening was an interaction between them and one of the managers that forwarded me the information and negotiated the offer that I eventually ended up turning down. Now, thankfully, I have people that are doing this for me that have, you know, a moral compass, and they actually did warn me. They said, you know, we're supposed to bring you every offer that comes through, but this one is a little sketchy, and there's been some backlash on it, but it's totally up to you. Most people that we tell that to proceed to do it anyway. I thought what they meant by that was there was like cheap crap on the website, which even that is enough to make me uncomfortable. But when you really dive into it and you see the forced labor and you see the deaths that people are having and then the data security breaches and oh my God, the environmental damages and just, you know, all the trees that are being planted are great, but you know, stupid trees. Anyway, I told you I'd read you some of these emails that came through. Here we go. So this is from somebody, managing Temu influencers team. Temu is an online marketplace, one of the largest e-commerce platforms by number of users. Temu was once ranked #1 shopping app on the iPhone App Store. Having kept an eye on your amazing social media content, I have been deeply impressed by the way you present outfits. This channel? Temu is an online marketplace which offers the most competitively priced products in multiple categories. Similar to Amazon, they even call out Amazon. On Temu, you can find almost anything, but at even lower prices. From fashion to jewelry to kitchenware to pet supplies, Temu provides consumers with top quality products at ultra affordable prices so that more people can enjoy the conveniences and comforts of life. So this is one of the first ones I got. This is back in January. Here's one from like February. I must say, it was a delight to come across your YouTube channel. Everyone on our team unanimously agreed that you are precisely the person we have been searching for. You say that to everyone. You say that to all the influencers. We have a collaboration proposal that we believe will pique your interest. Temu. We truly believe it's a perfect match for you, and we are incredibly excited about the possibility of having you join us. So this one does offer free samples for me to review, ranging from 5 to 10 items. I don't know if they would cherry pick those or if they would, like this last one, give me free range of however many things or whatever I wanted to pick under a certain price. Who knows? Here's another one from Kathy. Kathy got super annoying at the end there. This is Kathy from Temu, Global Brand Management Team. My team and I are so impressed by your awesome YouTube videos, and I am also one of your followers. Are you? I believe it. I totally believe the honesty there. They're just a big fan of mine. Specifically. We would love to work with you and build a long-term partnership. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you are interested in us. I love this part here. Lots of YouTubers collab with us, and the views are higher when they post for Temu. Wow, oh my gosh, it'll give my views a boost to talk about you? Well, let's see if that's true in this video. And the little kissy face there at the end, very professional. All right, here's Kathy again. And I got the same email 3 times. This same exact wording 3 times from Kathy. Okay. Hi, dear. You know it's gonna be good when the email starts off with hi, dear, or hello, YouTuber, or hello, influencer. They're all the same. Here is Kathy from Temu, and I have emailed you many times to ask if you want to collab with us for one paid collaboration. And we also want to send you some products that you audience are interested. You could choose them by yourself. We are really like your YouTube channel and want to collab with you. Could you let me know your idea? If you are interested, you could tell me your video rate for one at least 10 minutes dedicated video. Here are some examples. No examples. There's nothing attached to this email or anything. I am looking forward to your idea. Best regards, Kathy. Okay, first of all, 10-minute dedicated video. That's hilarious. Could you imagine me sitting here and like a sponsorship lasting 10 minutes and that's the entire video, which is like one big ad? Make it a review. Pretend it's a review, not a sponsorship. Give out your codes, spin the wheel, play the game, raise that dopamine, get addicted, buy a bunch of cheap crap that's gonna break in a few months. But don't worry, we're planting a tree. Oh, who made that product that broke? Don't ask questions. You don't wanna know where it came from. Well, I'm sorry, Kathy, that I chose to not collab with you, even though you're such a big fan of mine in particular, and I would be perfect for this role because of my fashion videos that I post all the time. It's just very frustrating. It's frustrating to me. And you know, I like I said, I'm really trying to double, triple down on this, not trying to pass judgment on people who shop there, not trying to pass judgment on, you know, influencers who do get sucked into this. Cause like I said, they obviously have money and they're spending it. They're willing to spend it. And I get it. Life is tough. People need money. Like shit. It would have been nice for me to have $3,500 right now and some free crap. Actually, no, I am currently trying to declutter my life. There is something to that too. Just don't become a hoarder, guys. Less is more sometimes. You know, this is during a time in my life where I'm really busy. There's a lot going on. I'm not going to have time to keep up. I'm not making what I used to make because I have a toddler and I'm about to have another baby. And man, when money comes through, it's hard to say no to it sometimes. I get it. I understand. So I'm really not trying to be an asshole, but at the same time, it really frustrates me. It frustrates me to see person after person after person just blindly promoting this and doing their little TikTok videos where they jump up and they land and they're in a different outfit from Temu or Shine or whatever you say it, whatever, Sheen. And they're just like, oh my God, it's so cute. I spent like 30 cents on this, and like people go and then they get hacked, or you contribute to an environmental problem, or even worse, forced labor, guys. It's messed up. So that's it. I'm gonna end my rant. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Just wanted to bring awareness to something that sort of landed in my lap unexpectedly and sent me down this rabbit hole. So I wanted to take you with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Please give this video a like, share it everywhere. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you had experiences with this? Have you shopped with them? What is your understanding of the situation, and what do you think about what I've said? Also, I want to throw in, I understand that sponsorships are how like most YouTubers or people on social media make money. Ad rev is like pretty much negligible at this point. So the only way to continue doing what someone as an influencer does, and I hate using that word influencer, but it's sponsorships. That's how people stay afloat. Also, there's, you know, you can sell merch and stuff. Like I have my merch store, ffvmerch.com, 20% off if you use code Black Friday. I'm still doing that. I don't think I'm ever gonna delete the code. So, you know, there's 20% off forever. Also, another way you can support people is if they have a Patreon. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Jacqueline, if you're interested. But what I'm really interested in right now is just hearing your thoughts. I've talked to a few people about Temu just in general, and they've all been like, oh yeah, I've shopped there. So who knows? Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like this was important to get out there. Because, you know, they didn't know about this stuff either. And I am rambling. So with that, I'm going to take my tea. Didn't spill all of it, just spilled most of it. I mean, I think I was pretty transparent with everything, but yeah, I'm gonna go. I'll see y'all in the next one. All right, bye.